Hello! How's the lighting? Today I'm going to be talking about Geekerella by Ashley Poston. It's just so cute. Geekerella is a Cinderella retelling about a fangirl and our Prince Carmendor. Can you see his picture? His name is Darian, and he is the movie star hired to play Prince Carmendor in a reboot of Starfield, aka Star Trek. I love that it was in Charleston. I'm from South Carolina, so it was just like a really fun setting because I know where everything is pretty well. I thought it was hilarious that the magic pumpkin is the van, in case you want to see the whole cover. Apparently I didn't take notes for the first part because the first thing I have down here is about Gail, who is Darian's assistant. Darian is one of our main characters, and he is an actor. He's gonna be portraying pretty much a character in this book's version of Star Trek. His dad is his manager, who is very overbearing, and we kind of see what his life is like now that he's accepted this role because he was on a TV show previously, and it was really popular. It really reminds me of Mackenzie Falls from Sunny with a Chance. Is that the right name? And we see this crazy fan attack him, Fishmouth, who like runs up on stage when he's at a talk show. And while he's there, he does this little like trivia thing about Starfield, and he has to miss a question for publicity purposes because his dad is annoying. This leads our other main character, Elle, Cinderella, to write a really scathing article about Darian. She's a huge Starfield fan. Her dad was a huge fan. But Elle, she writes Rebel Gunner, which is like her blog about Starfield, and she kind of tears down Darian and is like, he's gonna do such a bad job. And I was like, well, obviously these two are gonna be together, so I wonder how that's gonna come back for us. We find out that both of Elle's parents have passed away, and that they met at a signing, like at a con, and how they had like used a Starfield quote to kind of connect, and it was so cute. But now she lives with her dad's second wife and her two daughters. And this stepmother definitely fits the evil stepmother role of a Cinderella story. She is selling the house that Elle grew up in. Like, Elle is super attached to, it's where all of her memories are, and it was so upsetting. And then her stepmother makes her go and clean out the attic, which is where Elle finds the costumes that her parents cosplayed in. I loved that like line about how the dress that her mom wore had like stars stitched into the seams. I just thought that was a really like beautiful moment. Also, can we backtrack to the sisters? Chloe is the worst. Cal, I wasn't sure. She seemed kind of nice because like she had this kind of hesitation about going along with Chloe's horribleness. Oh, and then Darian wants to get out of a signing at Excelsicon, which is the convention that Elle's father kind of founded. She has her dad's old cell phone. So Darian, this major movie star, has texted Elle's cell phone. And this happens a lot apparently, where her dad's old number must still be on the website. So Darian doesn't say like who he is. And when Elle says that, you know, this is the wrong number, they kind of carry on a little conversation, and Darian says his name is Carmendor, and that's how Elle gets to know him, which is super cute. Elle works in the food truck with this girl named Sage, who is awesome. Also, like, when Elle is talking about all the fandom related things, like I totally got it. Like the whole part where she's like, the jacket is the wrong shade of blue, and how she made such a big deal about it, and how Darian made such a big deal about it because they're such big fans of the original show. And it just made so much sense. I get excited about books now, but I remember in high school being like absolutely crazy over books and like being like a huge fangirl, crying at trailers and being so nitpicky about things when movies were gonna come out. So like when she was like talking about all these really nitpicky things, I like totally understood what was going on. Elle kind of like adopts Frank as her own dog. We get Frank the Tank, this dog, and he's hilarious. My notes just say Lonnie in all caps with hearts next to them. Darian's new bodyguard, Lonnie, who Darian hates, but Lonnie's just so funny, and he doesn't take any crap from Darian. Kind of realizes this kid's a little beaten up inside and kind of is just super sweet to him after they kind of break this little like icy frontier they have between each other. Oh, when Elle is like kind of imagining herself at Excelsicon meeting a guy the way her parents parents met. She pictures Darien. And they've been texting this whole time, getting to know each other a little bit, and she doesn't know very much about him. He doesn't give a lot of information. She knows that he works a lot, but she has no idea, and I think it's so fun when he sends her that outline pic, because like they're talking about kind of like their ages, like both of them are trying to feel out like, what is this other person like? How old are they? Darien tells Elle like that he's, you know, however old. I don't remember his exact age. Like he's young. And he sends her that like outline pic, so like the light's behind him so she can't see who he is, but she can see his hair. This is just so cute. She works in the food truck with Sage. Elle needs her dad's costume fixed, and she's been trying to sew it herself, but like it's very complicated. I don't understand sewing. But Sage is super into fashion, so Sage starts to help her make her cosplay, and they form this little friendship, and Sage starts to learn about Starfield and starts to like it. Oh my gosh, the little exchange on 141 when Elle is talking about the scene with Carmendor in the shower, and it's getting like all like fangirly about it. And then she like stumbles where she's like, Carmendor's in the shower, not you. Not that like you don't take showers or that it'd be repulsed by the fact that you shower. And she's like, it's just Carmendor being sexy. Not that you couldn't be sexy. And then Darien's had like a really hard day and he's been working all day, and then he sees all these like fumbly text messages from Elle, and he's just like, I'm flattered that you think of me. And then Elle replies back, I think of you a lot actually. Just like so cute. Like it's just so pure. They're just both cinnamon rolls. When Chloe was going to enter the Starfield cosplay and she steals Elle's mother's dress. Oh my gosh. I was livid. I don't know why I didn't see it coming. There were a lot of things in this story, because we know the Cinderella story so well, where I was like, how did I not see that coming? So like, of course Chloe would steal the dress. Even though that wasn't originally like what Elle was going to wear, it's not Chloe's to take, and I was so angry. The whole Darien and Jess are supposed to be dating thing was just a constant eye roll for me. I was like, it's just so obvious that they're not dating. Frank the Tank has been officially adopted and he lives in the food truck, which is totally unsanitary. When Sage is gonna go to ExcelsiCon 2, I was so happy. I loved on 171 Lonnie training Darien, and it's so cute, and like they finally formed their friendship. I love that Lonnie calls him boss. I think that's adorable because like I picture Lonnie to be so incredibly large compared to Darien. On 172, Darien calls her Abuela. Is that how you say it? Is that the correct? Please correct me if I'm wrong. I was reading it that way the whole time, and I'm pretty sure that's how the audiobook said it too. When Frank gets lost and they have to go on this wild goose chase after him, I love that Sage doesn't like the dog. I think it's really, really funny. Like, she likes the dog, but she won't say it out loud. When Sage gives her the crown for her costume, it was so touching. When they mentioned the crown and like how hard it was to replicate, I knew immediately. I was like, Sage is gonna be able to do this. Seeing that moment of just like her putting it on and like it just belonging so well with the outfit, it just really melted my heart. Also, Sage is our girl, because when she finds out that she and Darien have only been texting, she calls Darien. I was panicking. I was as panicked as Elle. I was worried she might recognize his voice. He did pick up and he said hello in like this deep schmixy voice. And then she hung up and I was like, there's no way you'll recognize from one word like who that is. I love when they wrap shooting and Darien's like first reaction is like, I can have bacon now. Oh my gosh. On page 204, when Chloe rips up the Greyhound tickets to get to ExcelsiCon, tickets that Elle and Sage were going to use, like how mean can you be? That was the only part that I would get a little distracted in the book. Like it would kind of pull me out of the story, because I was like, how can someone be this incredibly mean? And maybe there are people out there like this. I'm lucky I've never run into any, but just like so incredibly evil. So Elle decides not to go to ExcelsiCon. Like her costume is messed up, she doesn't have tickets anymore. She was so dejected. Like that part in the story, my heart just hurt. She had worked so hard for this one thing, and like Chloe. But then it's Sage to the rescue. The fact that Sage is the fairy godmother in this story is one of my favorite things about the whole book. There's the emergency costuming, so Elle has to drive the magic pumpkin to ExcelsiCon while Sage works on her costume in the back. When that guy almost doesn't let Elle in, And then she like pulls her superstar status and they're like, oh my gosh, like you're the daughter of the founder, of course you get in, here's a VIP pass. I was like, yeah. Brian shows up. He's the worst. Like, he had betrayed Darian in the past, and now he got Darian's phone, sent a text message to Elle that they shouldn't talk anymore, and confronts Darian. Like, it seems like he wants to apologize, but then he's also been like so horrible. Like, I know he sent pictures of Darian that Darian's father like had wanted him to send to get Darian's like ratings up, and first of all, that's horrible. And then he comes and wants to talk to Darian and like fix their friendship, and then he sends that message. Like, I was just kind of confused. Like, did he really want to be Darian's friend? Probably not. Like, probably not. Like, he probably just wanted to gain something from it. But then Lonnie steps in and scares him away from Darian's table, which I very much appreciated. On page 239, when Elle is getting ready, and then like all these people find her and they start adding little bits of their own costume to her costume, and like it makes like this most beautiful like concoction that they could have made. And they're all telling her like why ExcelsiCon is so important to them, why her dad was so important to them, like what he gave them through this con. Like, it was so cool, like very, very touching, like to see this moment. When Elle walks out onto the stage for the cosplay competition and Darian sees her, it is love at first sight. Like, do not fight me on this. Even though he already saw her and she yelled at him in that office area when he didn't want to do the signing. Sage and Cal. I did not see this coming. It was so cute. Like, I guess they talked during ExcelsiCon because I don't think they'd met before, so we didn't see it coming at all, but it was just like a really nice surprise. And when we do read that text message from Brian, I was unwell. When Elle is struggling to go into the ExcelsiCon ball and she's like sitting out there and like thinking about her dad, like talking about this grand idea about this big dance that all these people dressed up in all these crazy cosplays would be at, she's having a hard time going in, but she's also like so proud of her dad. And like that moment on 255 where she like walks in, she finally like gets up the courage to go and she like says, "You made it, Dad." I was crying. This idiot that comes up to Elle at the dance and starts like downplaying her cosplay, starts being like really, really rude and saying like she didn't deserve her win and like all these horrible things, and she like chews him out, and Darian like steps in and like saves her a little bit, even though she didn't need saving. I felt a punch coming on. Their dance was so cute. And like Darian asked, "Do you think I could be a good Carmendor?" And I was just like Chloe shows up to the ball. Usually in Cinderella stories, they are not confronted at the ball. As far as I remember, that's never an issue. I wasn't quite expecting this to happen, and then she showed up and Darian stood up for her, and it was like a really sweet moment and a very embarrassing moment for Chloe, which I appreciated. But Chloe does say her name. She says Elle, and Darian has this like, oh my gosh. Elle has to run away because she has to make it back. Like, they have a long drive and she has to leave, but Darian has her slipper. We find out that the idiot that confronted Elle was Brian. Can we get rid of this kid already? When we find out that like Brian released those photos of Darian because he was paid by Darian's dad because the photos would boost Darian's popularity, I was like, I don't have words. Darian fires his dad and hires Gail. I love Gail, even though she's a little bit all over the place. I relate to that. I like Gail. So she'll be his new manager. At first I was like, she's not really qualified, but she's gonna do so much better than Darian's dad. Like, a lot of it is like, I think the caring like friendship that they have that I really appreciate, that's gonna make her a great manager. Elle has been forced to work at the country club because of Stepmonster, and Darian goes and finds Sage in the magic pumpkin and is like, "Where's Elle? I know she works here." And Sage drives them to the country club playing Starfield's theme song extremely loud. Meanwhile, Chloe is pretending to be the girl that Darian danced with on the YouTube videos to her friends. I wish someone had recorded the rest of that, but they only have the dancing part, and she's like, "That's me." And I don't remember if Elle like heard this, but like she didn't say anything about it or didn't know that this was what Chloe was saying. She must have known, but like didn't say anything about it. Page 304 is so cute. It's just like a really nice wrap up where Chloe gets shown up in front of her friends and Cal is stepping into who she is and Sage is there as the supportful friend. Is supportful a word? No, it's not. But there's that, you know, the whole classic, like slipping the glass slipper back onto her foot, and it was just so perfectly done. And then Elle says, I hear the observation deck is nice this time of year, Carmendor. The way her parents met. I can't. Chloe is throwing a fit, but it doesn't matter because Darian and Elle have their little kiss and I was just so happy for them. I wasn't sure how this was gonna work out because Elle seems like very introverted and Darian's like a movie star, but when they show up at the premiere and Elle is just like killing it as his girlfriend and they announce that they're a couple and it's just a perfect little ending. 5 out of 5. This is just, it's so cute. Like, it's a rewarding read because you're just so happy about it, especially if you've been in a fandom or you're like a huge fangirl like I've been forever. Like, you just relate to it so much. But yeah, that's all I have about it. I have read Princess and the Fangirl already, so I'm going to be making a video about that really soon. So yeah, until next time. That sounds so cheesy. My name's Caitlin. Thanks for watching. Bye. Oh my gosh, Frank is on the cover.